iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. So first of all, I want to, before I do the hot takes part of this podcast, I want to get to last night's game. It was one of the craziest games I've ever seen. I mean, really. Drew Brees throwing that late game interception, Sean Payton getting the flag thrown against him. So many injuries. Kamara just being the start of them. Ted Ginn. I mean, every time you look, there was another Saint getting injured. So let me address a few things. Firstly, I've been saying this for forever, and, I hope that the NFL takes this to heart. I think we're ruining our game. I think Thursday Night Football is ruining football. I do. On many levels. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It is saturating the market with too much football. I know there's never too much football. No, there is. It's too much football. And it's not good for the players. I don't care. A lot of players will say, well, I like getting the 10-day break. They love the break. But who wants to play 4 days later after getting beat up on Sunday? This is all for the money, not for the player. That's it. You can't tell me that Thursday Night Football exists for any other reason than to chase the dollar bill. You can't tell me that. To watch the Saints leave one after another with injury after injury, it was sad. I mean, that's the only word I had for it. It was sad. I mean, I'll give credit to Atlanta. They won the game. I don't think they played great. They won the game. I think New Orleans should have won the game. That was some crazy penalty call at the end of the first half when the guy with the field goal, not lining up properly. I've never seen that in my life. Been watching football for a long time. I've never seen that called in my life. Just throwing it out there. So Dr. David Chow had, he used to be the team doctor for the Chargers, and he used to come on our show weekly last year, and he said, we can cure all this by having 2 bye weeks. I agree. 2 bye weeks in a season. We don't need Thursday Night Football. I don't need it as a fantasy owner. I'll tell you that right now. I don't need it, nor do I like it. I don't want to make decisions on Thursday. I want guys to play on Sunday. I'm telling you, DeMaurice Smith should have been fired for the worst agreement in CBA history. It's the worst. These guys have short enough careers that they don't need to shorten them by playing on Thursday night. Next, the best team does not always win the fantasy title. I've told you that before. I'll tell you that again. You had Alvin Kamara, and you were crestfallen last night in the first quarter. Guy goes 3 for 25 on the first drive, and he's out with a concussion. Done. Good chance you're going to lose this week if you had Kamara. There's a good chance. Did you do anything wrong? No, you did nothing wrong. You did everything right. You drafted Kamara, you waited, you got your opportunity, you pounced, you watched him play. He was fantastic. You did nothing wrong. People get hurt. And with the concussion protocol they have now, they will be ultra careful with a guy. When a guy comes out, chances are he's not coming back in. Very sad about Kamara. Very sad. Best team doesn't win a fantasy title. Next, did I not tell you yesterday to always play your stars? A lot of people are talking about benching Michael Thomas. Told you not to do that. 10 for 117 and a touchdown. If I'm going down with Michael Thomas, baby. And let me tell you, the second Kamara came out, who got more valuable? Michael Thomas. Who's the most valuable player on the field? Most valuable player on the field. Now, I gave you Sanu. I said Sanu was going to score yesterday if you read my write-up. Marshawn Lattimore's a really good cover guy, and Julio Jones was frustrated. He went 5 for 98, but you could feel the frustration. I will say one thing. I was very happy to see Devonta Freeman look very good. Got 24 carries, no receptions, but 24 carries, and he was in there on the goal line. That was good. I liked seeing that. I'm always looking for things like that. All right, now it is time for the Hot Take Podcast. Indianapolis and Buffalo. Something I want to know. Do you know who has the worst run defense pretty much in the NFL? The Buffalo Bills. They stink. Really, they stink. 4 of their last 5 games, 181-2, 294-5, 139-2, 188-2. I mean, of course, they had the Kansas City game, but Kareem Hunt can't run on anybody these days. I'm just telling you, Frank Gore, Marlon Mack, interesting plays this week. I don't know if I like anybody else, but I like those 2 guys. Maybe some Jack Doyle as well. Let's see. Bills against the tight end. Not very good. Gronk had a good game. Tampa Bay's had a good game. So I might be in on Jack Doyle as well. Marlon Mack, Frank Gore, Jack Doyle. For Buffalo, I'll just say this. I'll tell you that the Colts' run defense is slightly better than you think. They were very bad in the middle of the season. But since week 8, 34 yards, 94 yards, 92 yards, 88 yards, 69 yards. So McCoy will have a game, but he's not going to have a great game. He'll have a game, not a great game. The Colts versus the tight end, they've been pretty stingy against the tight end as well. So I think Buffalo wins this game, but this could be a Steven Hauschka kind of game. Oh, there's the pen click coming out of nowhere. Just throwing it out there. I'm going to write this down, right? Hauschka. And I like the Bills' defense. I do. Because I hate Jacoby Brissett. Chicago at Cincinnati. Now, we know that Cincinnati has a very good pass defense, right? We know that. Bengals have one of the top pass defenses, so Mitchell Trubisky is going to do very little. Going to do very little this week. The question is, the Bengals against the run aren't very good. They're okay, but they're not great. So this could be a Jordan Howard week. Bengals are pretty good against the tight end as well. So if Chicago is going to score, it's going to be Jordan Howard. For Cincinnati, the Bengals, first of all, you want to look at the Bears versus running backs, right? The Bears versus running backs, they're okay. Not special. I think this is an A.J. Green week if I've ever seen one. I really like A.J. Green this week. The Bears' pass defense has been very generous, so I'll think this is an A.J. Green week for sure. Green Bay at Cleveland. We know how bad Green Bay's pass defense is. It's terrible. It was good against Tampa Bay last week, but in the weeks prior to that, 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. I think that's just because Jameis Winston stinks. I think Deshaun Kaiser is a sneaky play this week. I think he's sneaky. I think Josh Gordon is sneaky. I would tell you Corey Coleman, but I don't know if he's going to get the football. Green Bay against the run, not very good either. This could be quite possibly a Crowell week. This could be a Crowell Gordon week. I'm in on it. Now remember, the Browns are very good against the run. I don't love Jamal Williams. The Browns have been less good against the run over the last few weeks, but they're still good enough. But the Browns against the pass, Browns are not bad against the pass, guys. They're not bad. So if the Browns have any chance to win a game, this may be the game. I don't really like anybody in Green Bay in this game. For Cleveland, I like Kaiser and I like Gordon. Oakland at Kansas City. Rev this one up. Right? This one has a very high total of 49. The Chiefs are the worst against wide receivers and, well, not the worst, the Buccaneers are worse, close. Marcus Peters not playing. Hello, Derek Carr. Fire up, Derek Carr. Fire him up. Fire up Carr, fire up Crabtree. Just keep on firing it up. All right, we know the Raiders are terrible, right? Raiders not so good against wide receivers. And so I do like Tyreek Hill a little bit. What about the Raiders against the run? The Raiders against the run have actually been a little bit, they've been in the middle. Haven't let up many touchdowns. The yardage has been pretty good recently, so I don't know if this is a Kareem Hunt week. Hasn't been a Kareem Hunt week in a while. Tight end wise, the Raiders are generous to tight ends, but we'll have to watch here. We'll have to see this one. Did they play? Yeah, Kansas City, the last time they played, Kelsey 7 for 52 and a touchdown. Good, not great. I want to take a closer look at that. Give me a second, please. One moment, please. Please hold. Last time they played, Travis Kelsey against Oakland. 4 for 33 and a touchdown. Not a big game. Not a big game. I like Kelsey this week. I don't love him. I do think that Kansas City is going to have to throw the ball more because Oakland will score. For sure. Dallas against the Giants. Now, the Cowboys funnel things to the middle of the field. I've mentioned this before, right? So I like Evan Ingram to have a week. I don't love Sterling Shepard this week. I don't love Darkwa this week. Don't love him. I mean, the Cowboys are okay against the run. Not special. They're okay. They've had some good games, some bad games. For the Giants, let's see. The Giants, it's all about Dez Bryant. How do they stop Dez Bryant? I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. I really don't want to touch too much in this game. Maybe Dez, maybe Witten, obviously. Jason Witten's in a good spot. We know how bad the Giants are against the tight end. Giants are terrible against the tight end, as we know, worst in the league. But, should Witten score? Yeah, he's probably score. But the last 3 weeks, I'll say this, the last 3 weeks, the Giants haven't let up a touchdown to the tight end. They're getting better there. So I don't love Witten this week. I like him. Don't really love this game. Detroit at Tampa Bay. Giddy up. First of all, Tampa Bay secondary is absolutely disgusting. They are liberal. The only reason they didn't let up a lot of yards last week was because Brett Hundley stinks. Don't worry, Matthew Stafford's going to have a field day. Okay? I love Marvin Jones. I love Golden Tate. Now, conversely, the Lions' run defense is really bad. Over the last 4 weeks, 144 yards and a touch, 169 and 2 touches, 107 and a touch, 106 and 2 touches. I like Peyton Barber if he starts. I hope he does. I hope it's not Doug Martin. I pray. I'm lighting a candle right now. Please, please, fantasy gods, hear my prayer. I beseech you. Bench Doug Martin. He sucks. Please. If Peyton Barber starts, I'm absolutely starting him. But I will start everybody else. Stafford, Jones, Tate against Tampa. Minnesota, Carolina, I don't really want to go here. I think there's going to be a very low-scoring, ugly game. I'm going to stay away from that. I do like Adam Thielen. And let's see something. Carolina against the tight end, they're the best. So I'm not dying to play Kyle Rudolph. Let me tell you that right now. I don't think this is a Kyle Rudolph week. You got Kyle Rudolph. This may not be the week for you. All right? And the Vikings are just good against everything. So I do like Thielen this week. Thielen is my one big play. I also want to see Panthers against the run. Panthers are kind of stingy. But let me see here. Panthers. Why can't you ever? Oh, they're pretty stingy. They let up a lot to the New Orleans, but outside of New Orleans, they didn't let up much. But New Orleans runs on everybody. So not loving that for this week. San Francisco and Houston. I absolutely love the 49ers this week. I think this is sneaky. The Texans' pass defense has been burned, except the last 2 weeks they've been good. But who'd they play? Joe Flacco and Marcus Mariota. Two guys who blew, right? So Jimmy Garoppolo going to have a good week. Don't be shocked to see Jimmy G have a good week. I love Marcus Goodwin, right? On the opposite side, the 49ers have been much better against the run. They've improved against the run, but I still think Lamar Miller has a week. But I love me some DeAndre Hopkins this week. I think Hopkins should have a good week. So I like Hopkins, I like Goodwin, and I also want to see, let me give you a play here. The Texans versus the tight end. Texans have been very bad against the tight end. Could this be in the last in the last 6 weeks they let up 5 touchdowns to tight end? Could this be a George Kittle week? I'm just saying. And let's see, the 49ers against tight ends have been okay, let up a lot of touchdowns, but not a lot of yardage. So it wouldn't shock me if Steven Anderson scored, but I don't see Steven Anderson with a big day. And I think a lot of people know Steven Anderson, so if you want to be a little contrarian and you were stacking the crap out of this game, I might go George Kittle. Because everybody's going to be on Steven Anderson. Just saying. All right, the Jets in Denver. I do worry about the Jets here. Denver's been pretty, they're good. They let up a lot against the run, right? So the Jets should be able to run the ball. I like Elijah McGuire. I like Bilal Powell. I do. The Broncos are terrible against the tight end, as we know. So I really like Austin Seferian Jenkins. They always let up touchdowns. I don't really like Robbie Anderson and Jermaine Kearse this week. Okay, for Denver, I hate everybody. Hate. Tennessee at Arizona. For Arizona, I absolutely love Larry Fitzgerald. I think he's in a great spot here. For Tennessee, there's nobody I'm really liking. Now, normally I pick on the Arizona cornerback, right, who's opposite Patrick Peterson. What's it, Traymon Williams, I believe? One moment. Let me just make sure. Traymon Williams. I normally pick on Traymon Williams, but I don't think Tennessee's got a number 2 receiver who could take advantage of it. Is it Rashard Matthews? Is it Corey Davis? Maybe this is a Corey Davis week. It depends who Patrick Peterson is covering. If Peterson covers Matthews, I do like Davis. If Peterson covers Davis, I like Matthews, but Matthews is not speedy. I like speed receivers against Traymon Williams. I do want to look at something here. Arizona's run defense has not been terrific. But it's been okay. Tennessee is going to try to run the ball against them. We'll see how that goes. They're in the middle there. Like Henry a little bit, don't love him. Washington at Los Angeles. Here's what people don't realize. The Chargers are bad against the run. They're bad. Okay? They were good against Cleveland and they were good against Dallas, but that's only because Dallas was behind in that game and Cleveland sucks. Samaje Perine could have a game here. This game is going to be about game flow. If the game flow goes the Redskins' way, I like Perine, and I like Josh Doctson, and I like Crowder. If the game flow goes the Chargers' way, I hate those guys. I may like Crowder, but that's about it. So that game is all dependent on game flow. Philadelphia at the Rams. So first of all, at the tight end there, the Rams are pretty decent against the tight end. I don't see this being a Zach Ertz week. I don't. But then the running backs, the Eagles are the second best team against the running backs. So I don't think this is a Todd Gurley week. So I ask myself, how are the Rams going to score? The Rams are going to score through the air. Now, let me continue this. Vegas sees this game as a 48 with the Rams favored. So if the Rams can't run, because the Eagles' run defense is good, they're going to have to pass, which makes Jared Goff slightly interesting as a very contrarian play. Very contrarian play. Okay? Now, the Rams are good against the tight end, but the Rams don't stop the run very well. The Rams have been terrible against the run. So, this game lines up as, can the Rams stop the Eagles from running? The Eagles are going to run the football. I'm going to give you a sneaky guy this week, Jay Ajayi, or Corey Clement. One of those two guys has a week. I think those are my sleeper picks this week. Out of nowhere. The Rams, last 3 weeks, Minnesota 151 and 2 touchdowns, New Orleans 118 and a touchdown, Arizona 106 and a touchdown. I'm just saying, could be a Jay Ajayi week. Could be an Ajayi week. Pen click right there, guys. You heard it. Seattle at Jacksonville. Oh, man. Oh, man. You know, you have Russell Wilson. You're loving this guy all season long, but this could be very bad for him. This could be very bad. And for Jacksonville, I do like Leonard Fournette. I think that the Seahawks have been good against the run, though, but Fournette is a very good player. But do you trust Blake Bortles? I don't know. The Seahawks have been generous against wide receivers. So, pen click, I might take a shot running Bortles to Marquise Lee and D.D. Westbrook. I can do that. I might find that interesting if they stop Fournette from running. But the Jaguars do everything well. The Jaguars are the top against against wide receivers. Running backs, you can run against the Jaguars, but do I like Mike Davis? I don't know how much I like Mike Davis. And I want to see one thing here. The Jaguars against the tight end, they're in the middle, but Telvin Smith is back. So, not loving that there. Baltimore at Pittsburgh, there's going to be a bloody, ugly game there. So, I'll start my Steelers, of course, Bell and Brown and Ben Roethlisberger at home, and Mike Wallace in the revenge narrative. And then finally, New England at Miami. I love Brandon Cooks this week. Brandon Cooks, no Gronkowski. I like Cooks. I like Amendola. I love me some Tom Brady. Okay? But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. I wish you so much luck this week. I hope you kick butt. Remember, I'm on the radio tomorrow, 7 to 9 a.m. on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio. And I'm on Sunday morning with Adam Ronis from 10 to 11. You have any questions, you can find me there. You can also find me at scoutfantasy.com on the premium message boards. Also, scoutdfs.com. Sign up now. Get our optimizer's been blazing all year. Sean Childs works his rankings. Amazing stuff, podcasts, articles, whatever you need to win in DFS. So please check that out too. All right, guys, wishing you a great Week 14. If it's a fantasy playoffs, I hope you score well this week. Have a great one, be well, and take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!